Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media, LLC. We are so happy that you joined us today. And I am so excited to bring Kira Wisman and Chris Mannina in the studio this day. Kira is a dynamic, dedicated operational and finance leadership offering 20 plus years experience in both the private and public sectors. And Chris is the tech savvy CFO and CPA at KWC CPAs with an eye for leveraging technology to elevate your business efficiency. Wow. Welcome, Kira and Chris. I can't wait to learn more about what you're doing.
Thank
So,
you.
Very happy to be here.
yes. So, who wants to get this party started?
Chris,
All right.
take off.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll talk a little bit about maybe my background and sort of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis now. I been in accounting and finance for almost 20 years, and I sort of gravitated towards finding a way to help CEOs understand their business better. As we can advise CEOs and business owners, really help them leverage the best practices in the industry, help them leverage technologies, help them automate processes, help them just run their business better. I look at it like a business can be maybe the business finance can be like a car. You just want to drive, you want to grab the wheel, you want to punch the gas, but you need a mechanic in there to understand how the engine works, and we're just there to help you really make sure it's running optimally, and that you just all you have to do is drive.
Wow.
That's one way I like to think about it.
And
I don't know.
that was a good analogy with the automobile. I remember getting a new car with all like computer gadgets in it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm an IT professional, and I had to read the book and sit in
Yeah.
the car and play with this stuff. What's this picture mean? So having somebody that can hold your hand
Mm-hmm.
while you navigate finances is very, very huge.
Yeah, and I mean, I look at a lot of founders and CEOs, and they're not. That's not their focus, and it shouldn't be.
No.
So they should be out there building their business, looking at the strategy, looking at the forest, not the trees, right? So we're there to get in the weeds, understand how all the pieces are put together, and help them build a framework for understanding how it all fits together. But they don't have to be at the detail level like we do, so we can help them make the right decisions. I mean, that's really what I strive to be is support for strategic decision making. We can provide the right information so you can make the right decision.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kara, you want to weigh in on that?
I do. I couldn't agree with Chris more. We have taken what has traditionally been looked at as just kind of an outsourced accounting function and taken it to a different level. I come from a mixture of public and private accounting. I started out in public accounting and consulting and moved into the private area for many, many years, and am now back in the consulting arena. And it's a very rewarding place to be. We have a breadth of experience in a number of different industries, where that experience allows us to bring nuances from different clients, different industries to our clients and help them be more efficient. Like Chris said, they don't want to be in the weeds. They don't want to worry about their bills being paid. They don't want to worry about whether what's that the day-to-day work is getting done. So we have kind of developed a tech stack using various applications dependent on the client to help them be peace of mind. We bring them peace of mind, and it has worked quite well. We don't just produce a set of financial statements and say, hey, here's what you did. We're able to take that and talk to them about, here's where maybe you want to go. And, hey, if you tweak this, you might get there faster. We might be able to go in a different direction. So it's a pretty exciting place to be. I think we have a great team of people who contribute to the pot, and, it's going to be, it's only up from here.
Yeah, I'm excited because, I think a lot of businesses start out, you don't have a great framework for your finances and understanding what's going on, and you're just trying to get the data, especially historical data. But when you can
Yes.
really get that financial maturity and you're starting to not only have a really good understanding of your finances, but also be able to look forward and say, all right, here's where our cash flows are going for the next 6 to 12 months. I'm going to have this much extra cash to reinvest in the business. Here's a few strategic opportunities we can take advantage of, and you become more forward looking. You can do a lot more planning and forecasting to understand what options there are out there for you. And I think that's the exciting part that we love to get involved with.
Yes, yes. And you, both of you are so personable. And I'm here to tell you, when it comes to my finances, it's a thing where I have to connect with you
Yeah.
first.
Yes. That's a
There-
huge part of it. Accountants are known for the green shade, you know, sitting in a corner, punching on a calculator with all loads of paper rolling out the back. And, that just really, it has its place, but that really isn't true for what we do. Building a relationship with you is part of what makes us successful. We need to know not just the numbers, we need to know where you want to go and who you are as a person, and even where you were, because everybody has a business and wants to grow that business. They want to be the next big thing. And it's you can't get somebody there if you just have your head in a bunch of spreadsheets all the time. So I think that personal touch is another reason why we really do stand out.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say also that, you say you want to feel comfortable with the person you're talking about. Trust is a big piece of it, but it's also like, we got to understand you. We got, maybe you're not a numbers person, you're a visual person. Maybe we do a lot more dashboards and visualization so you can understand the data the way it works for you. It's our job to really get to know you and understand what works for you so you can interpret and build out that framework the way it makes sense to you too. So, it's sort of a collaboration that, we can understand your business and understand you as well. It's a huge component above and beyond just spending your day in spreadsheets.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like a lot of my clients have become friends in a sense, or a family even. I speak to them every day, very vested and interested in their success, and their success is ultimately our success. So it's a really good feeling.
And
Yeah.
that's important what you just said, Kira, vested. People
Mm.
need to feel that, like from the door, from the very first meeting, that you're going to be vested in their financial success. So I'm glad that you stated that, because that's a key element.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of what the accounting does, you have taxes and all these, you need to make sure your bills are paid and all these compliance products. And all those things need to be done. But what we really like and get involved with is that relationship where we can add value to your business. It's not just making sure we're checking all the boxes. We're sitting there trying to understand and strategize and help you run your business better and take that next step to just, we're not doing all the compliance stuff. I mean, we are, but it's not just that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't, that's not where you want to focus. You just want to
Yeah.
be the business owner. You just want that to be done, and
right.
and feel, confident that it's being done correctly. It is definitely. I always tell my team, and I know Chris does the same, that if you were working inside this company and you were going to sit in their offices every day, what would you be talking about and looking for? And while we
Mhm.
serve a variety of clients, we all have more than one client that we deal with. We strive to provide that really intimate, personalized level of service that you might not get somewhere else.
Yeah,
It's a very important part of how we are developing our team and who we are and always want to be in the future.
absolutely. So if companies want to work for you, how do they do so?
Well, you can reach out to us through our website at kwcadvisors.com. You can find us on LinkedIn or our social media, anyway, you can reach out by email. But really what we're going to come in and do, if you're interested as a business owner, we're going to come in and probably do an initial assessment, right? So
Mhm.
what we're going to do is look at your processes, look at your financial reporting framework, look at, everything, systems, technology, and just get an understanding of where you are today, where you probably should be to sort of be more in line with industry best practices, and create sort of a roadmap of how to get there, right? So A lot of people come to us because they have very manual processes and they want to automate a lot of stuff. Automation and building out technology really saves so much time. That's one thing that's just a really good ROI for small businesses, because if you get that tech piece right, you can get all the systems integrated and working smoothly, instead of, we have some clients who still write manual checks and are walking out of the mailbox and things like that and putting stuff, you can, those days can be gone, so we're going to come in and do an assessment with you and help you get to where you want to be. I mean, we'll do that roadmap and figure out the gap analysis and strategize, put together a project plan for what pieces you need to put in place, and get this business running optimally. And then once it's running optimally, I'll say the next piece is sort of that FP&A, like financial projections and analysis. So you sort of do that forward-looking stuff. So we can build out your budgets and scenario modeling and all the cash flow projections, so that you can really get a plan for not only where you are today, but where you want to be in the future.
Yes,
And we hold
absolutely.
your hand. Yeah. I mean, we can hold your hand to help get there. I think that, a lot of people who are in the weeds every day, they're just running their business. They know that they want to grow. They know that they maybe want to add, 4 locations in the next years, but they don't really know how to get there, what financing they might need to get there. And that's where, we come in, we'll do an assessment, and we might be able to give you some things that you didn't even know you might need or want. So we come in with a different perspective, because sometimes, when you have your head down every day in your business, it's really hard to pick your head up and kind of see the bigger picture. So that's where that assessment serves a bunch of functions.
So what industries do you support? Where's your expertise in terms of industries?
Yeah, we focus on a handful of different industries, and we try to niche down a little bit so that we don't try and spread too far, like a mile wide and an inch deep.
Right.
We focus on professional services firms, consulting firms, things like that, technology companies, as well as nonprofit organizations. Those are our primary.
Okay.
And we can deviate
Service
a little bit from there.
industries.
Service
Yeah.
industries for
Service
the most part.
industries
Yeah.
for sort of,
Yeah.
medical,
Yeah.
legal, those sorts
Okay.
of industries. They serve us quite well. We do have
But
clients that are outside of that, in specific instances where they might be a good fit for what we offer. We can work with that, but that's pretty primarily where we try
yeah.
to.
And just while we're on that topic, why is it important to make sure that you select an accountant that is familiar with your industry?
Well, there's always going to be a lot of industry specific situations that, you want somebody who's got that experience. I know that's really generic to say, but if, like, for instance, for me, for example, I've worked with professional service companies and service-based businesses my whole life. But if I go into a heavy manufacturer or retailer, there's all kinds of issues I'm not familiar with respect to inventory management, supply chain management, things like that, I'm going to be a little bit over my head. On the flip side, where I look at service-based organizations, I can look at a lot of the metrics I'm really familiar in, benchmarking tools to understand their industry. And I understand where your operating ratios should be, where your margins should be, because I'm really familiar with that industry. I understand the right KPIs to build out for you, because, seeing so many similar type businesses, you see what works, what doesn't work, and how things are run well. If I only have one retailer and one restaurant and one hotel, you get a feel for what a business is. I can pay bills and I can send invoices out, but you don't get that deep understanding of what the business industry really is.
Yes.
I mean, and that's why we've taken time to staff our team with a variety of experiences in the industry specific experience, where we want to be. We have a nonprofit sector of our team that, Chris and I are not an integral part of. That's not our specialty, but should somebody need that team focuses on that, and they would know the ins and outs of the nonprofit world. I can say that even within the service industry, there can be specialties. We'll have medical offices that are an insurance-based reimbursement type business model, and medical offices that are cash only. So, even within a service industry, you can get different needs, and having people on your team that know that specialize in those different niches is important. And we've worked hard to build a team with that type of experience.
Yes, and that's important, because not one person is going to know it all.
Right.
So that's really important having. Now, let me ask you the next question. When you are bringing these various different talents in, do you not only focus on their talents, but also their personable type communication kind of thing?
Yeah,
Like with you, I
yeah.
feel comfortable. I feel comfortable with you, but somebody on your team,
Right.
may not click.
I mean, I think there's some level of experience that people get over time working with clients, and they develop a rapport or get better with that skill set. We do hire some people who are straight out of school and don't have a ton of work experience, and so
Mhm.
you got to train that at that point. You got to spend time working with them, put them
Right.
in situations where they're, in the meeting room with you, so they can see how it works and get that
Mhm.
exposure and build that up over time. But I would also say that we're passively recruiting at all times. So,
Okay.
we're always on the lookout for good talent. And if the right person pops up, we're always hiring. So we really do try to look for that complete skill set because it is important. I mean,
Mhm.
people don't just want somebody to do the work. They want somebody who they can trust and rely on when they come and have a question at 10 o'clock at night, maybe, they're worried about something with their business and they want somebody that they can have a conversation with and feel comfortable with. So it's those skill sets, you can't live without those.
No, you can't.
I think it's important to staff. Not everybody's going to be a people person. And so, like Chris said, we do have newer people who obviously have to develop those skills. We consider it very important to kind of foster the next generation of accounting, finance, consulting talent. And we do have more experienced people who, aren't as comfortable in the spotlight, but have a super solid set of technical skills. And
Mhm.
that's where they want to be. So we try to meet people where they are.
Mhm.
And the people will be the client facing people, and we have the people
And that's
using all my
good.
fancy words today.
Yeah.
And we let the technical people stay in the background if they want to do that. So I think there's a place for just about anybody.
Yes.
you know
And that's important. I like what you said, meet them where they are.
Mhm.
Everybody's not, you know, want to be out front. Some people want to
Right.
be in the background doing their thing and just be left alone.
Yeah. I
right.
mean, there are some people who are really introverted and just want to sit at a computer all day and crunch through
Yes.
data. And that we need that work too. So, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. So that's really good. I'm liking the versatility of what you do as well as how you pick your talent,
yeah.
how you work with people because that's important for not only the customer but also for the health and harmonious
Yeah.
operation of the company.
I mean, I think it's interesting. As I was younger, I always thought the technical skills were really so important, and you got to have somebody who really has all the technical, credentials, right?
Right.
But over time, I realized that it's really about the character of the people who you're working
Hmm.
with, and I can teach you the skills. I can't teach you the character. I mean,
Right.
that's so important. If you get a team that you build with the right character, and you can build that trust internally with our team, like we're talking about building trust with the client, we got to build trust internally with our team members too. And if you
Yes.
have that, everything else can work. We can make the technical piece work. We can put people in the right seats, the introverts in the right seat and the extroverts in the right seat. But we just got to focus on that character. That's the most important piece.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I have a question, probably accounting question because most people don't understand the jargon, period.
Hmm.
I mean, in college, I met plenty of students going to school for accounting, and most of the time they were pulling their hair out. So you really have to be a special person to pursue this. Now, understanding the basics of cash accounting vs accrual accounting.
Right.
What are the differences?
So I would say, so I can't unless you want to jump in.
No, go ahead, and I'll jump into
Sure.
it.
Yeah. I mean, cash accounting is really, it's what happened with your cash. I could go look at your bank statement and look at all the withdrawals and look at with all the deposits, and that's just cash accounting. Put all those deposits and withdrawals in a different bucket, right? So it's all
Right.
the cash transactions. But let's say, for example, you sign a $1.2 million contract to provide services for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
You collect all that money at day one. Do you have $1.2 million of revenue? Not on an accrual basis here because you haven't earned that money. So we're saying that when you talk about accrual basis, really the distinction is the money's earned when you do the work, and the money is paid when you incur the expense. So like, let's say you also go, you get some services from a subcontractor to do some work on, or you get your website built out and they bill you at the end of it. All the work is being done. And if they're going to charge you $10,000 to $15,000 for that, even if they haven't invoiced you and you haven't paid it, you've still incurred that cost. So that's an expense on the accrual basis. So it's less of when the cash is actually trading hands, and more on the accrual basis is when the work is being performed and services are being transacted.
It rolls into what the accounting speak of the matching principle.
Yeah.
So if using Chris's example, if you have $1 million in revenue in January, you get paid $1 million, but that you're going to be doing that work for the next 12 months. If you just have $1 million in revenue in your January financial statement, then all these expenses that you're going to be incurring, the payroll and whatnot for the next year, and you say, hey, I want to look at February's results, it's going to look like you made no money. You're going to look at August's result, you're going to look like you made no money because you put it all back in January. And I think it is confusing, it confuses us with some of the more complicated concepts that, after a while you're sitting here thinking, all right, an insurance policy is the same thing, that you usually pay an insurance policy up front for your business insurance. And now it's for 12 months. So you don't want to skew your results. I mean, cash is important. It's a very important component of planning, especially if you don't have a lot of it. But it's just trying to give everybody a very even-keeled, accurate look of what's happening at any given moment in time throughout a year or a period.
Oh, okay. Wow. So I'm sure that you probably have these conversations with your customers
every day.
The layman, it has to be in layman terms for us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It is not a concept that is easy to grasp, for Chris and I, we kind of live in it every day. And I think about my personal life, even outside numbers, in kind of accrual terms, so, but not everybody does. In one of my previous jobs, every month I dreaded reviewing the financial statements with my boss because I knew we were going to have this repetitive lesson in accrual accounting versus cash accounting. But that's part of what we do, is finding a way to explain that it is meaningful for somebody that's not familiar.
Wow, this has been interesting, and I'm sure it's like way more stuff that we could get into, and we will definitely have you back so that we can get into these things. So again, how do people connect with you?
We have a website, kwcadvisors.com. You can find Chris or I at our LinkedIn page with our names. Our firm also has a LinkedIn page, KWC CPA, and there is a contact button, I believe, on our website that you can send us an email message through the website. But reaching out to one of us personally at our email addresses or via LinkedIn is a great way to start.
Okay, wow. Thank you both for your insight and your expertise, because like I said, accounting and financial is, the jargon, it's like a whole nother language.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the point is it's our job to know it, not necessarily yours. You got other things to do and you're busy. So, we're here to support you in your business. So you don't have to have that knowledge.
Now, one more question. How often do you connect with your clients in order to go over their books and things like that?
I would say that, at least with all my clients, I'm probably meeting with them at least once a week, but, for a formal structured meeting, but, we're there via email or chat, as they need.
As needed,
And then probably on a monthly basis, we're reviewing a full comprehensive set of financial statements with them so they can talk about, what happened last month, what happening next month, and update our projections and things like that.
Yeah. And it's up to them. If they don't want to talk to us every week, they don't have to. If they want to chat with us every day, they can do that too. We're very flexible with respect to communication. We understand everybody's different.
Okay. Wow. Well, let's do this again in the near future so that we can really, because tax time is quickly approaching and we're almost in the last quarter. of
Yeah.
Time
2023.
flies.
Yeah, so people need to understand if they're not, their projections is not where they need to be now,
Yeah.
Is
you
the
want to
time.
get on top of it.
Yeah.
Let
I'll
us help
say
you out.
near year end is a big time to do cash projections, especially because a lot of businesses, small businesses are cash basis businesses. So you gotta do that planning before year end so you can make moves, because as soon as December 31 hits and passes, you can't go back and make changes.
Yes, true that.
So
True that.
so it's important.
Yes. So thank you so much. We
All right.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
and
No,
looking
thank
forward.
you.
Yes, and looking forward to more collaborations.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.